Good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm your host, Keith Parris. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us this morning. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Jermaine. Good morning, Debo.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good morning, Jermaine.
Good morning, there, sir.
Clark here today?
He is not. He'll be shortly.
Okay, he can call in and say who you with.
You fool.
Oh, good morning, everybody. Wednesday morning is going to be a long day for me. I am covering for Brother Kwaku this morning. So, yeah, I know, man. 3 hours. I used to do 3 hours on Fridays. Yeah, I used to do 3 hours.
Well, I mean, I can see it on Fridays because it's at the end of the week and it's going to go
see
fast.
It today. Don't say I can see.
I can't see it
I
on the
can't
Wednesday.
see it today, but
I can't
if
see
it
it
was
on the
Friday
On Friday,
or
maybe.
Saturday. I'm gonna have to come in here one Saturday though. I drive by here on Saturdays. I'm gonna pop in here.
Yeah, there's usually breakfast.
Yeah, so I hear.
Yeah.
What? Wait, hold on.
We had chili this past Saturday. Yeah, we eat.
See, I mean, we know you eat, but I was just trying to figure out why you don't eat during the week.
It's too many mouths to feed.
You make it sound like we're your children.
Yeah, too many mouths.
Too many mouths to feed.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I go to feed you every week, you'll feel like you're my children.
Let me
on my taxes.
Let me do. Yeah, claim your taxes. Let me do this. I know yesterday was yesterday they announced it that D'Angelo had passed, and
man,
I'm gonna tell you how I found out about D'Angelo. Right, I was in Chicago for a meeting, and it was Thursday night. I said, I want to go someplace, and so I ended up. You know how they had those things in the hotel room where they tell you all the stuff.
Yeah.
That was before.
Oh, she's
Google.
Still here, man. She's still here.
And so there was this place on the near South Side called the Cotton Club.
Cotton Club, yeah.
Where professionals meet and greet.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a professional. So I go down, take a cab over, and before Uber, and so I walk in, and the first thing I think is, wow, we have better looking clubs in Milwaukee than the Cotton Club, right? And the first thing I always thought about was Mr. J's, ARJ's, right? Arliss always, the way he set it out was just beautiful.
Yeah.
So now I'm sitting there, then I'm looking at the crowd, and Robert Taylor was still up,
Yeah,
and it was open mic, and I'm looking at this crowd, man, and they look like they come from Robert Taylor and Cabrini Green. No disrespect. I'm just saying.
And these are supposed to be the professionals.
Hey, man, well, let me finish telling the story. So.
Why he say no disrespect? And he said they look like they came from Friday.
That's what you're supposed to do.
It's called the sandwich approach.
Right. You preface it with, hey, don't take it personally.
Right.
Then you get personal. So I go in, it's open mic, and if you win, you get studio time. And there was a dude there they called Gemini. And I kept going, why they call this dude Gemini? Then I figured out because Gemini was basically two people. He was a big dude. Big dude. So I'm sitting there. Now, when I came in, the MC was getting right when I came in. You know what I mean, right? So he getting right. He get up. They give the rules. And throughout the whole evening, every time he came back, they do Brown Sugar. Oh. They sang it. It wasn't recorded. They played it and they sang it. And I'm telling you, man, these Negroes, I was like, oh.
Wow.
Oh. And then the talent level of people competing was so incredible. Yeah. And for all you church folks, this was a Pentecostal moment. The people in the audience, if you get up to sing, people in the audience did your background.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I mean, it was like.
Yeah, that's dope.
So
that's dope.
So when I left the spot, I hugged Gemini. He's like, who's this dude? I'm like, thank you, man. I'm almost crying. This is such.
Like, you did something to my spirit.
Man, y'all touched me tonight, man. But in the intermission, they come back and they do Brown Sugar.
Wow.
And and it was like the first time I'd heard the song. I'm like, who is that?
Now,
and they go, D'Angelo. I'm going, oh.
Now, you do know what he's talking about with that song, Brown Sugar, right?
I didn't really care.
So, you know what he's talking about?
That's the problem when you go in and you actually know what people are singing about.
Really though, he talking about smoking weed. He talking about smoking weed.
But no wonder the dude was out there because he's getting right.
Yeah,
he's getting right when I came in, man.
Smoking weed
and the way, but it was just one of these moments.
I get high off your love, don't know how to behave.
Yeah. Okay.
A chocolate Tide was a strain of weed.
See, there you go, man. See, y'all too deep.
Yeah,
not me.
That's coming from me, right? Who wrote the song? What he was wearing when he wrote the song? His mama had died. Right? I didn't go all into that.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't know your daddy died.
I didn't either.
I didn't know your dad. What was it now in the Temptation movie when it was the 3rd of September? And it was a David Ruffin. Somebody said, my daddy died on that day. They said, man, I know nothing about your
your daddy died on that day.
Yeah, I'm supposed to know your daddy died on that day. So anyway,
but now that means that should be even more personable. Take it and make it your own.
Right.
And that's what he did with it.
Yeah.
But no, man, it was something. And after that, I was like, who is this dude?
Yeah.
It was like, and you said he only did about 3 albums.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix, I think, only had 2 or 3 released albums.
Yeah.
And look, Lauryn Hill.
See, but what people don't know too, D'Angelo has a lot of writing credits too. So he did a lot of the stuff, even though he only put out 3 albums. He was with Raphael Sadiq on that joint, We Should Be Here. He was on, of course, Lauryn Hill. He did a lot of stuff with Common and that whole neo rap stuff.
The neo soul.
Yeah, the neo soul, neo rap. Yeah.
But it makes you how we cut up sub-genres. Y'all remember New Jack Swing?
Oh, yeah.
That didn't last long.
No, that didn't last.
But the movie did.
Yeah, but that style didn't last.
That style didn't last.
But you know
long.
what else had tripped me out is how they took the whole Washington, D.C. go-go feel and mixed it with like a Philly swag because it was the Roots and that whole swag of the not the Fijis, but Black Eyed Peas.
And I went to school out there, and I never understood until later in life that what go-go really was.
Yeah.
But if you listen to Got to Give It Up,
it's like
it's that go-go. Yeah. They used to call it what they used to call it, trash can, because it sounded like you beating on a trash can.
It's like cowbell.
And then who's my boy? What it was EU.
Yeah.
But who's my guy? Chuck Brown.
Chuck Brown.
Yeah, Chuck Brown, man. If you really got DC go-go when you did that. And my guys, whenever Got to Give It Up would come on, these Negroes would lose their mind. Like, what?
Yeah.
And
that whole
they didn't call it
feel.
go-go. It was a DC sound.
Yeah.
And you have, but the greatness of an artist, people know I love to read. And I collect books. And in my top 11 books, Catcher in the Rye is one of my favorite books. So that guy only wrote 1 book.
Wow.
And he's known for that one book. So a lot of times you have people out there, they have voluminous work. It's Wednesday. They have voluminous work.
Is that the word?
That's the word. They have voluminous work.
Can you give us that definition, Jermaine?
Can you use the word in a sentence, please?
They got voluminous work. Just used it in a sentence.
You mean like the sentence I just completed?
But no, I mean, I think that you have some things sometimes where your body of work, it doesn't have to be a lot.
Yeah.
Now this is a question of quality over
quantity.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And so you have, like, can I use another word? Seminal albums when you go out, and this group is just known for this album because it was just such a great album. So the Miseducation or the education Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, Miseducation.
I don't know if she did any other album, but that is considered one of the top 5 albums of all time.
Yeah, I don't even think she put out another project after that.
Yeah,
I don't recall.
Yeah, so I mean, you can, when you're able to create art, and you create good art, and I know that's always relative. Art is in the eye of the beholder, but then there's certain things you go. Brown Sugar is just one of those songs that it got a groove to it. obviously there's a message there that Jermaine was able to, because that's Jermaine. I'm gonna start calling Jermaine Q for conspiracy with a Q.
Yeah.
Now
I'm just saying.
See,
just doing the history of this stuff, man, because that was one of my favorite albums, and from that song, Brown Sugar, I think Africa, it was on that album. What else? Brown Sugar. It was another Lady was on that joint, and like even now, years later, like 30-something years later, the songs are still relevant.
And that's the sign of a
Timeless music.
well-written piece of music
Yeah.
that people are going to use it, or you can get a great song. We came up on Friday. I was surprised at how many people talked about My Way.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah,
it's just one of those seminal songs
Yeah.
that you kind of go out and you go like, you got to do that one.
Well, yeah, like Roger and Zapp, that stuff came out late 70s, early 80s. It's still relevant now. Yeah, I mean, man, that song come on now and people go crazy.
Man, I was working at Our Avenue Playground, and that's when Boombox was.
Oh yeah, Doc.
And dude, when More Bounce to the Ounce came on,
every
boombox was on.
Everybody
was and I came up with this. What was the song Al Hudson and One Way did? I started using that when there'd be dudes. Yeah.
You talking about Cutie Pie?
Yeah.
Oh, Cutie Pie. Oh yeah.
And I said that Al Hudson and One Way is like some people play basketball. They could just go one
way.
That's it. One way. They going right. They going left. Now you got to figure out how to stop them.
Yeah.
Because there's some people they going left.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But you still
you can't stop him.
Brunson, we know he's going left.
Yeah, but you can't stop him.
Can't nobody stop him.
You know what, Keith? Not to change the subject, but I met somebody yesterday, man, that said,
when people do that, not to change.
Hey man, shut up, brother, and it changed the subject. It's called the Melwich approach. No. This guy said that he used to stay across the street from you down south. Down south, he was like he was your neighbor down south. So every time like you was talking about down south and playing, your cousin, yeah, he was like, man, just tell him I said hi. His name is Emmanuel.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Yeah,
I was a little guy. Yeah, when I went over. That's my family. Man. Yeah, they were right because I didn't have anybybody.
Is there really across the street down
south?
No,
it was literally across the road. Because we were, I don't know what that was, 20, whatever it was. My uncle.
So how long ago was that?
Oh, dude, I was a little guy.
Wow.
Look, I have not been to Ripley since 1970.
60 years, man.
77.
It's about 60 years, right, Keith?
No, yeah, close to.
Wow.
No, even more than that.
Wow.
Right. I was down there.
Wow.
My mom sent me when I was 2, and I stayed down there until I was 5 to come back to school.
Yeah,
I was loving it, man. I was the only child, and then Gary came.
Yeah, though he told me to tell you hi.
Then
Gary came.
Then Gary came. Changed all of that.
You said that so often, Keith. Is there something you want to talk about?
Man, I got it's Wednesday. I'm doing Quick Cool show, so maybe
lay yourself on the couch.
I'm gonna get on my own couch.
Hey, he gonna lay on the couch.
You should stick around at 11 o'clock. We're gonna talk about Then Gary Came.
Then Gary came.
Gary came. And a lot of y'all that had somebody that simply came especially if he was the baby or the only child, and then the only child now has another child.
And you become the oldest.
The oldest.
Yeah, I don't think it was that. For me, I was the 5th child, so I really didn't.
Oh, you couldn't even speak to the issue, but you'll find a way.
Yeah, I could.
I admire those people. I admire those people. I know he will.
That boy good. That boy good.
That's why I call him Sop. Aesop.
That boy good.
I got a story. You want to hear?
Here we go. Oh, that boy good. That boy good. He stuck that one in there, didn't he?
What was David Allen Grip? He was Tub. What was Tubbs' first name?
I don't recall.
Oh man, he was singing at this dude's funeral. And the blues is about the truth, right?
Yeah.
Dude said like he didn't have no insurance. Don't know how they gonna pay for. They gonna pay for this funeral. They started talking about the dude had some kids that nobody in the family knew about.
All at the funeral.
At the funeral.
Man, funerals can be one of the most dangerous places you can be.
I ain't gonna even. Let's not go down that rabbit hole because it really.
I got some stories. You want to hear?
I know you got some.
I got
Here you go.
I know I got one or two.
Man.
You know, when you get older, man, you got more stories.
Jesus.
Yeah, because you done lived something. Now you done experienced some things.
Man. I'm trying not to be that guy.
Yeah.
Something come up, you know.
Man, I swear my most favorite commercials is that Progressive commercial. I think it's Progressive.
Yeah.
Oh
Where
yeah.
they do to my don't turn into your parents.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. And they just whoever that ad company is for Progressive.
Hilarious because
They
they
are
write
good.
some good skits.
They write some
Yeah,
good
when
stuff.
he go in the bathroom and says, you know, the conversation should stop when the door closes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And then he come and try to get a
Oh, but they
food
got
order.
tuna. Buy one, get one. So I figured maybe we could go half on that. You know, you split it.
No, that's just like
This
Parris.
dude.
So when he was talking at the gas station, the dude, and he was filling up his dirt bike.
Oh,
He said,
yeah.
I guess it's clean, but I guess they call them dirt bikes.
He was like, "Stop talking. Stop talking."
I don't know if y'all noticed what we're avoiding.
The brewer conversation.
Yeah,
I don't know if y'all
let's
noticed
keep
what we're
avoiding it.
avoiding.
Let's
We're
keep
trying to keep it on a positive tip. But yeah.
It don't look good for the home.
Well,
team.
hold on.
It
Well,
don't, Jermaine.
well, hold on.
It
See,
don't, Jermaine.
When
see,
you don't win
well-
at home, it don't look good.
hold on, brother. I believe in Jesse. Jesse once said, "Keep hope alive."
And he lost twice.
Both of them times.
Most of the time.
He kept it alive.
So you said he should have
The
kept
last
hope
person
alive.
ran on hope and won was Barack Obama.
That's right.
Barack Obama.
He said
right?
that he lost twice.
And he lost twice. So
Wow.
anyway,
He
hey,
had to switch it though. He became fired up and ready to go.
Yeah.
Fired up and ready to go.
Hey, he
He
said he
left
had
that
to
and I'm
whole
switch
glad,
up.
and I'm glad,
switch
they,
up.
I'm glad they did Run Jesse Run before OJ.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that'd have been messed up.
Run Jesse
I
Run.
watched that documentary a couple weeks ago, man, and there's some interesting pieces in there, man.
Which one?
The
OJ.
OJ
Yeah, yeah.
on
about
Netflix.
OJ. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Doc.
Every time, all those.
Yeah, he did it.
Or the one they showed. What was it? That date in June
How did he
when
manage?
the
Well, I guess
what was that?
because
date in June?
I
June.
after watching that piece where
the
they really
chase.
got
Oh,
dove
yeah, yeah,
into
yeah.
with him and Al.
Yeah.
Yeah, once they really, because you never heard some of this stuff was never even
I know.
allowed to be mentioned in trial.
I know.
Jesse, OJ, Orenthal James, what's his name?
He did it.
Orenthal James, he did it.
He did, Doc. He did every bit of that.
Well, you talking about Al Collins and Marguerite, OJ's first wife,
Yeah.
was dating Al Collins, and OJ burned on him. I ain't heard that in years.
Yeah.
You heard that would get burned on?
Yeah.
There's the rules. Oh man, OJ's dad was gay. There was a lot when you go into it made OJ, but they talked about that night, the night of the chase. That was what, game 5, game
Yeah, that was
6,
on the NBA final.
right in the finals
Yeah.
with the Knicks.
Yeah.
And then Arnold Palmer, that was the last US Open he played in.
Yeah.
So they showed that. They had all kind of stuff going on, and then people broke in. Because I remember we were on 46th Street, and they broke in. No, Ron was on. I wasn't married yet. It was 94.
Wow.
So we were sitting there watching the chase, and it was one of the more surreal things you'd ever seen.
About the slow speed chase?
That slow speed chase. Yep. It was something that you just, and then captivated. And then that next year the trial started.
Yeah.
We were out in California while the trial was going on. So, we're watching that live. It was very interesting piece. And I'm going to have, as part of Kweku's program, student minister William Muhammad. And one of the things people wondered would, after OJ got off, he got off in either early October, would he show up for the Million Man March? He did not.
Yeah, he shouldn't have.
Well, black folks was kind of cheering, not so much cheering for him,
But cheering that he
yeah, because of the system.
because of the system, yeah.
And so
But also too, with that glove, Keith, they knew that if they could present that glove and show the jury that it don't fit, that he would have a good chance of beating that case, even though he was, in my eyes, he was really guilty. But that glove is what changed the whole trajectory of that case.
Also, that jury, there was a term that most people had never heard of before called jury nullification. And that came out because the jury was only out for 2 hours.
Yeah, sure was.
And so when it came back, and we sitting here, and I had that look like Kardashian when it was announced that he was found not guilty.
Man.
And Kardashian had this look on his face like, what, he got off?
Yeah. Hey, no, I think everybody had that look.
He had that look.
He was a part of the defense team at one point. Wasn't he the one that got off the team?
No, that was
somebody else got off the team.
No. Shapiro turned on him.
Yeah.
Afterwards, saying he didn't think they should play the race card, but I think Shapiro was looking at his law practice and whether or not he's gonna get money. But he kind of turned, hey man, you do what you do, because when you talking about, because he was looking at the death penalty.
So who was that other black attorney? What was his name? Chris
Darden was on.
He was on the prosecution.
He was prosecution, yeah.
Right. Chris Darden, man, he said he caught.
Yeah.
His daddy.
Him and Marsha too.
Yeah.
They both caught hell.
Yeah. Yeah. And they made some tactical errors. The glove is one of them.
Of course.
Glove was one of them.
They also made some other errors. They were dating.
Tampering. And that too.
Well, I mean, that if you want a different company, it can impact you. But I think that once that came out, but Chris Darden, man, and I think of all the people who were part of that, Chris Darden is the only one I think who has not done an interview relative.
Is he still alive?
Yeah. Relative to OJ?
Because he had that one.
Donna said sequestered jury was another new term that came out of that trial for her that her, I don't know who Happiness is, but that was something that came out of the trial that they had never heard.
Sequestered means that now they basically have left their homes and they're living in a hotel.
Yeah,
So how long was that trial?
Ooh, man, that trial went 6 months.
Yeah, that was
6 months?
It went long. That trial went long.
That was a long trial.
It was a long trial.
It was longer than Jeffrey Dahmer.
Well, Jeffrey Dahmer ended up pleading guilty, right?
I think he pleaded.
Yeah, he ended up pleading.
Yeah, he told his life story.
I'm trying to figure out, though, not to change the subject.
There you go.
But I was looking, they showed the surveillance video of the governor's mansion in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm trying to figure out how this dude got in and there was no alarms. Even if people in the house.
White folks.
White folks
trusting other white folks.
Okay.
I mean, that's why they leave their doors open.
You're going to learn today.
Thank you.
Homer.
That part.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was going like no alarm went off.
Nothing.
This dude broke
no dog
broke a window, nothing.
He was just in there setting fires and running around.
I missed that. I don't have a clue what you guys are talking about. I missed that.
The governor of Pennsylvania, Governor Shapiro, the governor's mansion was firebombed. And so they have the tape. The guy pleaded guilty to the 40 charges he had out there. He got about 40
charges.
Dude, they literally threw the book at this dude.
So is the governor, is he a Republican or
he's a Democrat?
He's a Democrat.
He was one of the 2 finalists to run with Kamala Harris.
Okay.
But she didn't trust him, so she went with Walz. And that was a tactical error. I mean, if you just sending a message out, though I don't think it would have made that much difference who her running mate was. The Republicans, i.e. Charlie Kirk, had a great ground game when it came to turning out young male voters, young white male voters. And that's the piece of it that people, when people call in and they want to talk about Trump and you're mad at Trump, and I understand because I be mad at him too. But don't get so mad to understand that this is, I majored in political science. That means that there is a science involved with this. This means that it's data driven. Why are the Republicans going in wanting to redraw to gain seats? Because the polling is showing that they're going to take a beating in the midterms. So what you do is you try to make as many secure Republican seats as possible, because they know that, just as history says, incoming president always that first election, that first midterm, they lose seats.
He's going to lose.
But I think also the damage that's being done, and people are waking up to it. For example, you have Michelle talked about the soybean farmers, you know, in Iowa and Idaho and all these other places.
Right.
And then I have to ask myself the question, because I'm conspiracy with a K. You know, so you put the tariffs on, right? China. Then you go and you basically bail out Argentina.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to make sure this guy gets reelected.
Yeah.
And we find out that Argentina is selling soybeans to China. So then China gets around the tariffs, because you're not penalizing Argentina like you're penalizing, what was the I'm trying to think, it was some country that was doing business when it comes to oil. And so what they did with Russia was that they went and they put a sanction on those countries who were dealing with it. Man. And maybe John Bolton's observation is correct, but the impact of it is still the same. He said that Trump is too stupid to be a dictator. And what he's talking about, because I tell folks, is it Netflix? Go to How to Be a Tyrant. Go and watch that. I mean, people don't like to read. Go and watch that documentary and see if you see some similar things. And then for all the folks who is trying to wake people up, they don't want you awake. That's why they're pushing against woke, right? Because if you woke, that means you see what's going on. So I guess right now we actually see that Project 2025 is being fully implemented. One of the things was downsizing government. So this shutdown gives after Doge, it gives the government or the Trump administration another opportunity to reduce the federal workforce. People called it out, and everybody was ha, it ain't raining. It's raining now.
Sound like a similar story.
And like I say, every time I go up Washington Boulevard and I see that sign, what did you expect?
Yeah.
My mama said that. She said he told you what he was going to do.
Yeah.
414-444-5250, 414-444-5250. When we come back, I got to ask the question I asked Jermaine yesterday. Do you all believe in the Antichrist? We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Community Voice. And I had asked the question, do you believe in the Antichrist? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is, well, let me just, and again, this is kind of a general definition of what the Antichrist is, and then let's just talk about how how this term has been used. The Antichrist is a figure prophesied in Christian eschatology. Eschatology means end time. To oppose Jesus Christ, either as an individual leader or a spirit that denies Jesus' nature. In popular understanding, the Antichrist is a deceiver who will come to power, promising peace and prosperity, but ultimately serving as Satan's agent before being defeated by Jesus at the second coming. The term Antichrist appears 4 times in the New Testament epistles of John, and the broader concept is linked to figures like the beast from the sea in the book of Revelations. So based on Christian eschatology, again, that's Christian end time teachings, it opposes Jesus. The Antichrist is seen as an ultimate enemy of Christ, embodying a spirit that denies Jesus came in the flesh. Deception and power, the figure will rise to great power by deception, promising peace and a just rule while being a parody of Christ. Satan's agent. The Antichrist is considered Satan's chief agent on earth, wielding authority from Satan and setting himself up as a deity. Defeat. The Antichrist's reign will end his defeat by Christ at the battle Armageddon, after which Christ will return and reign. Every time, not every, yeah, I can say every time we find ourselves in a dark moment in history since the advent of Christianity, there has been people who talk about the Antichrist. Martin Luther accused the papacy of being anti-Christ. So it depends on, are you being very literal about it, or are you being figurative about it? So the Protestants believe, there were certain Protestant sects that believed that the Antichrist was the Catholic Church. It was the papacy. In the 80s, because I'm just going to move more contemporaneously, in the 80s, there were some who thought Ronald Reagan was the Antichrist because of 666. Ronald, Ronald, 6, Wilson, Wilson, 6, Reagan, Reagen, 6. So because his name had 6 letters in each of his names, people said that he was the Antichrist. So I say that now because it's coming up again, where now people are looking to see, are we at the end of time? And who is then the Antichrist? Now, I would like to think that if you're from a certain persuasion, some of us or some folks might think that Donald Trump is the Antichrist. Now, one of the definitions of the Antichrist was not so much he would be the antithesis, the opposite of Christ. But so was Hitler, so was Mussolini, so was Stalin, so was Pol Pot. Pol Pot was in Cambodia. So I'm just curious that when with everything going on right now, one, do we think we're at the end of time? Because it certainly feels like it some days. And man, this dude's only been in office 9 months. That's what's making this so incredible. So I'm just wondering. I asked Jermaine. I don't know if the psychic that I wanted to bring in this morning wasn't available. But I'm just curious. What do you all think?
I honestly have had some thoughts that Trump could be If not the Antichrist, the person that's setting up everything for the Antichrist. The Antichrist is a lawless person um, that pretty much, um, does what they want to do, and in and is in power. Uh, I think with some of the stuff that Trump says, uh, he is really setting. If not, again, if not the Antichrist, he's most definitely setting up the playbook for the Antichrist, and that's just what I think because biblically, the Antichrist is referred to anyone who denies Jesus is Christ, and particularly those who deny Jesus came in the flesh. And you don't hear him say anything like that, but you have heard him say, "Well, he don't think he's going to get into heaven, and he don't think, uh, just stuff that he says is like, okay, man, you are something is wrong with you."
Well, this is because then that gets us into whether people believe in heaven and hell. I think if you went and you did a breakdown in terms of people with money and people not money, or people who, you don't really find rich people being overtly religious. I mean, there are some exceptions. John D. Rockefeller was a staunch Baptist. Thank you, Gerard Randall, for telling me he bailed out the University of Chicago, and all they had to do was remain a Baptist institution. So there were some people who really held on to it. But if you're in a space with people with money, they tend not to be as religious as people without money.
Yeah.
Keep hope alive.
Right.
So it's kind of, if you go 35,000 feet and see how people practice their religion. I'm saying particularly Christianity. Islam is different, but Christianity, there are a lot of things that kind of feed into our belief system, and religion is a belief system that we practice, right?
Yeah.
And so when I was a kid in the 70s, because when we started talking about the book of Revelations,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh Lord, no.
Yeah.
Pastor get upset. We going to Revelations. You can just see people in the just go like, "Oh Lord,
it's gonna get deep.
Get ready to get deep now." Oh Lord. And it wasn't until I found myself at preacher school, and this little bit of truth was revealed, that the 4 interpretations of Revelations. So I'm just curious.
Well, Keith, just thinking about the whole meaning of the Antichrist. The Antichrist is someone that demands to be worshipped and persecutes believers, acting as rivals and substitutions of Christ. So when you look at Trump wants people to worship him. He wants to be worshipped. He wants people to bow down to him. And that's just, that's the power control right there. So if I can get the people to bow and strong arm the people to do whatever I need them to do or want them to do, and that whole word anti
means opposite of.
Means against instead of. So and when you look at Trump and he talk about the whole Christian value, everything he talk about this whole Charlie Kirk guy and what he stood for, and the whole Christian and Jesus and God, everything that Trump is doing is against what Christ would have done, what Christ would do.
Well, but then it's wrapped in religious garment.
Exactly.
Right. So, everybody, all the people who went back to church, who went to mass when Charlie Kirk was killed, but he proffered white Christian nationalism. Mm-hmm. I'll say it again. He proffered white Christian nationalism. Yeah. That becomes important. in terms of context. In terms of context of having this conversation. So 414-444-5250, 414-444-5250. When I get in, because like I said, I grew up Baptist, and one of the things that they describe Baptist people as people of the book, and how we know that Bible.
Yeah.
Struggle living it, but we know it.
Yeah.
Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Hey, morning, Keith.
Hey, what's happening?
I don't have anything up loud. I don't know why I'm getting feedback.
Oh, hold on.
Let me run in here. Is that y'all?
We got a little loud here. Is that better?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
No, well,
Go on.
yeah, morning to you. I'll write out and the director over there, Mr. Debo. So I was mentioning, and that's true. When I was coming up, I can kind of parallel right there what you were saying, Keith, regarding Revelation. And then through my studies over the years and that, I didn't really feel that Revelation was a kind of overpull or oversight. When you think about the Apostle John being on the island of Patmos, and he was bound, and of course God put him in a deep sleep. So when we think about Revelation, we can think about symbolics, and these symbolics has to be cross-referenced on a lot of occasions. I mean, you start getting into areas of the lake of fire. These are symbolics of a hell. I heard you brothers mention heaven and hell, and we have to understand that when let's talk about the evil force, Satan. We know there's going to come a point in time where he'll be put away in the abyss. Is that fair to say? Hello?
I don't. Okay. I'm going to tell you that I do not. So just full disclosure, I am not a literalist when it comes to the book of Revelation. So I might take some issues when we describe certain things. Mm-hmm. I guess one of the questions would, if that's going to happen, am I outside of the realm to ask then what has taken God so long to put Satan in that lake of fire?
Well, let's talk about, I heard about 4 months ago, I heard Right Out speak about one day in God's eye is 1,000 years in the sight of man. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's take those 7 years completion, and let's take 7,000 years here on earth. Well, we know that we're beyond that rest period for God.
Yeah.
So we know that we're deep into a time of fury. Basically, we living in a place of treacherous times, hard to deal with, Apostle Peter. Mm-hmm. So we know that God has always been a spirit. If you ask me how long he's been a spirit, I say all forever and ever and ever and ever. And so what I'm really trying to convey is that Christ Jesus gave us the privilege of getting an understanding of that spirit. Remember when Moses went on the Mount Olive, or Sinai, I'm sorry, and he received God's glory, and he was kind of burnt up or heated up his hair and all of the above, changed his colors and all that good, all of those things. That's what we take, how we take it. Everybody have their own interpretations.
So let's get back to the point that you were making. So this particular, if you look at the book of Revelations as a book of prophecy, this prophecy was done 2,000 years ago. And in that interim of the 2,000 years, the two millenniums, we have had all kind of things, the dark ages, the plague. We've had wars where close to 100 million people died. Are we trying to understand these events in history and say that it was, predicted.
Mm.
And then that's what I'm saying. So is Hitler the Antichrist? I'm saying the, not the. Is Mao the Antichrist? Is Stalin, who allowed the people after
Stalin
World
bin
War
Laden,
II,
the Antichrist?
right, after World War II, to literally starve to death, and 20 million people starved to death?
Well, we have to understand too, and I'm going to kind of piggyback off of another religion. I won't bring it up. And it has came to pass from the book of Numbers. I'm going to use the year 1914. The 1914 was when the First World War started. Right. A lot have said that might be the year that Satan was hurled out of the heavens. And then he started all of this evil, and he started all of this because, that was around the time. What was that?
Did we have evil before that?
Well, of course, but we were in a period where there were golden years where people wasn't doing so bad until that First World War started.
Well, what about our ancestors?
Yeah, I was going to say, man,
because we done been dealing with 400 years of hell.
400 years.
Okay.
That's understandable.
Okay.
But then we have a reasoning. God is a God of order.
Yeah.
So we have to, we can go different places with how God does things, but we know at the end of the day, he allows these things. Why? Because he still allowed the evil man to be on the planet.
How much of this is God and how much of this is us?
Well, when you say us, it depends on what side of the table you are on. Evildoers? I don't consider me an evildoer. You mean
have you ever done evil?
I've sinned and fall short of God's glory.
That's what I asked you. So would you say, but isn't sin considered evil?
Well, gross sins might be into. Well, I think killing somebody is evil. I think hurting somebody, raping somebody. I've never done none of those things. I think spitting on somebody is a sin.
Now you catalog it. Now you catalog it. Everything you did.
Well, you're trying to push me in a corner of being considered evildoer. I'm not going there, brother.
Well. Okay. Well. So you got to look at it like this, man. We all fall short. We all fall short. So, as far as being the evil doer, I think you're putting too much emphasis on evil because we all.
No, the emphasis is on evil.
Well.
The emphasis is based on what he said. He said evil doers.
I know, but you have to understand that every day
it has to be categorized, Jermaine.
Wait. Hold on.
Okay, I'm good.
So what I'm saying is, with being the evil doer, anything outside of Christ and doing what Christ had instructed us to do would be considered an evil doer.
So the scripture tells us we can follow close in Christ's steps. We can't follow directly in the steps. Why? Because he was perfect. So we inherited sin. We were born into sin. Now the scriptures tell us the wages of sin is death.
Okay, let's go. Wait. But
before y'all go,
no. Let's not go down the rabbit hole. Here's the question.
I'm not.
You did because you're going. First of all, y'all using Psalms 51. That is David. I'm talking about when you say evil doers.
Okay.
Can the average person be an evil doer?
Yes.
So is sin parallel to evil?
Yes.
Okay. And then I've made some bad decisions that might be considered evil.
Okay.
Can I go there?
Yeah, I just said that.
And the word hate don't even come up in my heart because I don't have any hatred for nobody. Right. So that's kind of, and I appreciate what y'all saying because you're helping me to kind of grasp that I guess it can be categorized, but then we can think what God thinks, just like if we was to judge somebody and say, you're not going to heaven, that's being self-righteous because we don't have that quality to say.
Right.
I'm just using that for an analogy. That's all.
Well, but when you say though, when you're evil, profoundly immoral and wicked, bad,
but it's
wrong, wicked.
Yeah. So we all fall short daily, but we all do something.
But why are we doing this soft pillow when it comes to our behavior.
Because of the respect of God and
No,
Christ,
I'm
he
just
knows
saying
all
because
things.
here's what and I don't want to overly generalize here.
But we Christian men, so you don't want to put yourself...
No. What I'm saying is, and I always use this analogy, so if you've heard it before, just indulge me.
Sure.
Jermaine, when Jermaine is evil, I want Jermaine to receive Old Testament treatment. Hold on, let me finish. When I'm evil, I don't even call it evil. I call it a shortcoming.
right.
I call it my imperfection.
Right.
I call it my falling short.
Right.
You know, I mean, so I'm just saying when we say evil doers.
You pillow talking now with yourself.
Huh? What'd you say?
You pillow talking. You
right. Because when it comes to me, I'm getting New Testament grace.
Yeah.
When it comes to Jermaine, he's getting Old Testament judgment.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, can people? We can do evil. Yes, we probably have done evil. We've done some things that when you look back on it, you went like, damn.
Yeah.
That even for me, that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Keith. Now, so if you go into a situation and not thinking about the ramifications of how Christ might feel, and you go into him and you do it, and how I know you can't think the way that Christ Jesus feels of that, but what I'm trying to say is when some people do evil and don't realize they're doing evil because that's their norm. But so how do God
evil
judge
is
that?
conscious, brother. Evil ain't no accident. Evil is conscious. Evil is purposeful. It's planned out.
If my wife tell me no, and I say yes, and I still get some, and is that evil?
Whoa! Wait a minute.
I'm just using that now for an analogy.
Wait. What?
That ain't bad.
So what you saying? Her saying no is being evil,
or you taking it being evil? Which one?
That's a wifely duty. That's what I could think.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean she's being evil.
Yeah, that means she's being evil. That just means she don't feel like it, brother. That's just a human.
But and I hate to go there on this, but why not? There you're already there, so why not?
There you go.
So when you make, I gotta do it. So when you making the booty call, one of the things. If you ever made if you ever made one, was one of the things on your mind. I wonder what Jesus would do. No.
Sometimes you have to shed a tear or two just to get it right, man. It's okay, Mama. We'll be all right in the morning.
Where are you? I was trying to figure out what Jesus would do.
Go ahead.
I'll be back shortly.
Get past the imperfection.
We went from evil to imperfection.
See, it's the wordplay.
I'm going to get going, but I just wanted to ask this because I know the subject was more the Antichrist. I heard you brought it up yesterday. So let me just kind of get an idea. Would you feel that this administration leader is an Antichrist?
Oh, I do. I do. And I'm going to tell you
I feel everything personally. I just wanted to hear
I
do. Come on, Keith. Bring it out.
If I could just chime in for a moment.
Sure you can, bro.
I feel that he uses the right wording and, bless you and this, that, and the other. But I don't think he gives a damn one way or the other.
He don't.
It don't matter what you say. It's what you do. Is the behavior antichrist. And when we talk about antichrist is what did Jesus teach? What did Jesus teach us about how we should deal with other humanity?
Right.
Apostle James say, be a doer of the word.
There you go.
Paul,
not just a reader, but a doer.
Paul said that you could have the greatest voice in the world, but if you don't have love and charity for other people, it's empty. So all I'm saying is that antichrist behavior would be anti what Jesus taught. So when Charlie Kirk and these folks are out talking and they can go after immigrants or they can be anti-justice, that in my mind is anti-Christ. It is not what
Absolutely.
Jesus taught.
Yeah.
So, you know, we can get in, but I'm just saying in terms of evil in this world, one of the things about when you look at history is just repleted with folks. It's something my pastor used to say, man's inhumanity to man. And that's what it really comes down to. You know, everybody, you can worship a God, and that's good that you worship a God. But beyond your worship is then how do you interact with other human beings on this planet and in this existence?
But Jesus, but God said that I'm a jealous God.
Yeah.
Anyone put any other God before me.
I think we should be careful putting
I'm just
on God.
verbatim. I'm not getting the scripture right, but I'm right there where it should be. But I'm just saying he is a jealous God. And he don't want you really bowing down to nothing.
God doesn't need me to worship her.
No. Yes, he does. No, he don't need you, but he requires you to.
What's the difference?
Hold on. I'll tell you. Hold on. Let me finish.
Catch yourself. He said,
no, I caught it. I just didn't feel like
just like that booty
doing that. I caught it. But what I am going to say is this: you was created to worship. That was the only purpose of your creation.
That is not true.
Look it up. You was created to worship.
Right. What was that?
So in your creation,
go down this rabbit hole every week, man.
I love it
because I'm pushing back against this guy.
We haven't even got to the rapture yet. You're listening to man. I appreciate you.
Good day, man.
He dies one time. He dies once a week too.
Hey, listen. Why y'all making jokes?
Jesus died every Sunday in my church.
No, I'm talking about Jermaine.
Oh, okay.
So what about me?
I said you ain't died this week either. Because, you know, every week he said, something happens to Jermaine.
And you know what? Speaking of that,
if Jermaine ain't here,
right?
Did he get raptured?
Hey,
once a week he get you out of there.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this though. When I do get raptured, I'm gonna look back down.
You and Keith gonna still be here.
Down.
Hey, Debo, or look up. You're listening
to more like look up.
Yeah. It's all fun and games.
Like I told somebody, we're gonna bury you face down so you can see where you're going. You're listening to Community Voice. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Keith Parris.
Welcome back. And just so we put it in context, this wasn't really about Bible study. This was really about taking something that people use and then apply it to what's happening in society today and what's happening in our politics today, and how many of us are trying to understand fully what the deal is. And so for those of us who might have religious backgrounds, but I do know that, the what people thought, I don't know if I look at it that deeply. I just think that when you look at history, you will find that that we've had some pretty difficult, awful times in history. And if we just talk about loss of human life, that there have been instances where we're talking tens of millions of people have perished because of, and I'll just call it what it was, someone's evil. And then even if that prophecy is such, how much responsibility do we have to try to change the situation that we find ourselves in, right? I mean, if we're just going to go like, oh, it's going to be, then it can be. Do we have the tools for resistance to the things that we're seeing and we're encountering? Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, you have tools for the resistance. Due to those as you want done to you and stop being the bigger person. Let's be honest. I don't want to go to heaven with no scumbag, low trash bastards. Why would I want to go to a place with a bunch of sap-sucking peasants who
let's
good
Al, we ain't at heaven yet. We here on earth. What do we do here on earth?
Well, what you do is you hold people accordingly. That's what people should do. But they keep waiting on this. Jesus, let me tell you something. Jesus and the devil are both the same people. Whether you like it or not, they both are niggas. They both want you to worship them. I got to worship you to get blessed. You can hold it, swallow, and rock. Okay?
So can I just do a clarification here? I don't think Jesus said worship me. I said Jesus said follow me. I think there's a real big difference.
And I'm still not following you.
Okay.
Well,
I'm just saying that Jesus never said worship me. Jesus said follow me. But I think that is significant. That it is what Jesus taught, and then we practice those things. That's following Jesus.
Well, I don't want to follow Jesus in no form, because what happened was people who follow him who died still didn't have sugar, honey, iced tea. And I'm not coming to your plantation. You can rock.
But I don't know. But do you think that it's a materialistic reason why one should follow whoever it is, the teachings, or is it something more spiritual? I think
it's codependent thinking. Because if Jesus was so good and powerful when he was tearing up and throwing chairs in heaven like he was drinking black velvet, he would be running that down on earth.
But see, what happens is that there is, and I hear this more and more now, which I think it's fascinating, is that there are people who are pushing back on the Trinity, and the Trinity is not found in the Bible. The Trinity is a thought that came in, I think, as Augustine, who came up. But Jesus never said that he was God.
Well, he's nobody, to be honest. Him and the devil was the same people.
And the reason why Jesus never said that he was God was that would be considered blasphemy. And that was the one thing. And Jesus was observant. This is the piece that people are kind of missing all of this, that he was observant. And so he was observant, and the first commandment is that there should be no other God before me. The second commandment is that you do not create graven images or idolatry. Jesus pushed back on that when you never heard Jesus say. As a matter of fact, Jesus, when a man came up and called him good, Jesus said, no, none is good but the Father. Jesus never did. Now, I say that to say that then part of our religious indoctrination was that that Jesus was God. That's what some thought has been. In the Catholic Church, that is the theology. that Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, Jesus was God. That's problematic on a lot of different levels. And there's a difference between Jesus being a savior, Jesus being a Messiah, which is another word for savior, and then what that even looks like. I think that that's the argument. And so then for us as descendants of enslaved Africans, how we've been taught Christianity in particular is that, we look up. And so I caught Jermaine, but he didn't respond. This is why I do not refer to the Creator with a gender, because I know that part of that is where it's male and it is white Christian nationalism, that he's male and that he's white, and therefore I worship white male. I refuse to worship white male.
This? He can be a male on the bottom and a female on the top. At the end of the day, he ain't no good. Tax collectors and prostitutes, pleasure and financial, great combination. He can rock.
All right.
Because if the devil wasn't so bad, the devil was bad, he wouldn't have been bragged about him about evilness on the innocent. At the end of the day, he ain't no better. He's a nigga just like the devil.
So Al, real quick question before we let you go, because I hear sometimes that you use scriptures from the Bible, and in your statements and things like that. But let me ask you this: why is it that you don't believe?
Why does it matter?
I'm just asking.
Why do I don't believe? Well, let me tell you why I don't believe. I'll tell you why I don't believe. Because he's portrayed as all this, all that, but then when it comes to people suffering, he ain't doing nothing. And
there you go. We started this program off, though, Al, talking about hope, false hope, right? And what we put our hope in. And for people who are oppressed people look for a Messiah. It has been, it doesn't matter what society you're in, you look for a deliverer. But now, because it's a little bit different, we're not necessarily looking, now I guess we could be looking for a military leader. Now for Black folks, because we were taught beatific theology, which is basically wait till you die to get your reward. There's something flawed with that when the person who was teaching me that didn't have to wait to get their reward, as they're abusing and oppressing me. So then the pushback has to be not so much, and it's hard because I know what we've been taught. It's something I heard this brother say from Detroit. It is not that God has changed, it's how we've been taught about God and depending on where you are. But then over and beyond that, it still comes down to how do human beings deal with other human beings? That is after you get past your worship of the deity, then it's the practice of your faith. And what is the practice? And I use faith in terms of a belief system. How do you manifest that?
And I know you have good people out here, but your most evilest people are religion. The most failed religion, the most failed marriages, the most outside babies, the most who have ran down to
You know what they all have in common, Al?
Al,
you know what they all have in common? They're human.
That's right, and I am too, but I don't got to do that because I'm going to stand on my business, and I don't got to follow nobody. I'm going to sin. I'm going to do everything that I'm big enough to do, just like Jesus did with them.
All right, man, I appreciate you, man. Let it go. he said let it go. Just take a walk, man. Caller, welcome to the program. I can't stand this.
Little boys' room.
Walk in, had that sandwich in the car, and come on back in. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Keith. This is Angela.
Hey, Angela.
How are you?
I'm doing well, Angela. How are you?
Let it go. I'm okay. I was just listening to that young man named Al. So he said God is the devil too. So
he didn't say that.
What did he say then?
He said in his mind that in his mind he don't mess with either one of them.
Oh, okay. Maybe because he was talking so fast, I might have misunderstood him. Because I'm like, because it's kind of like, because see me, I'm just I know who God is, and I'm just getting to know Him better for myself. So listen, I need not listen to that man because he had me kind of confused when he said that, but I misunderstood him, so I'm gonna just let that go because I was going to ask you that question. But
no, I think that there are some people who don't they don't rock with religion. They don't rock with God. And you know, do I understand it? Yes. And there could be a lot of reasons. There's some people who are more about, if you go to the Unitarian Society, you know, they talk about reason. If you talk about certain strands of Christianity, it is an emotional thing. And I had to catch my piece, catch myself. I don't know if y'all remember, people used to say, I don't want a religion I don't feel, or I can't feel. I used to do that, but religion is more than my feelings. As a matter of fact, what religion does, if properly applied, it helps me to mitigate my feelings, because sometimes my feelings can lead me to, the first caller, brother, doing evil. If I act on my feelings, I can do a lot of damage. And so there should be a certain level of reason. Now, look, in the heat of the moment, you know, and the brother was saying, we don't think about long-term consequences. That dude who got out and fired on what he thought was just a regular white boy, and come to find out he fired out on a cop, he wasn't thinking about that. He was in that moment. And then in those moments, we make those decisions that have lifelong consequences. Yeah. All of us have found ourselves when we've gone in bad judgment. Bad judgment is usually, what influences bad judgment? A lot of times we're in our feelings, we're in our emotions, and then we do some things, and then you wake up and you go like, oh, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking for divine intervention, right? So I'm just saying, as much as we grow, sometimes if I can learn how to de-escalate where I am in terms of that. Now, look, I can de-escalate and Jermaine is still on 10. I understand that, but I don't want to make that mistake. You know, I learned, like, sometimes I used to say this to the managers that I work with. And I would say, you know, you get this awful angry email from one of your staff members. Your first reaction was, because they kind of started off with your mama, your first reaction is to go at them hard, right?
Yeah.
But then what happens is, and especially when you put it in, especially when you put it in writing, is that now when I'm in that employee's disciplinary hearing, you know what the issue becomes in that hearing? My response, not what the employee did, but my response. And the union's gonna wear me out. So take a step back. I know you angry. I know what they said was wrong.
Go to the car.
Go to the car, take a step, walk around the block. Yeah. And I remember I was at a Jenkins barbershop. And and I was
nice man cave, by the way, man. Oh, you see a man cave behind
you? Yeah, thank you.
Excuse me.
I don't know. Yes, ma'am.
I'm still here, and you're on a whole nother subject from what we were supposed to have been talking about. Because now you way at another bar. You at a barbershop. How you get from one?
Well, if you let me finish the story, then you'll know why I'm at the damn barbershop. Okay, so wait a minute.
I think we need to remind whose show this is.
So I'm at the barbershop, and I'm telling them that I'm getting married. Here it goes. Here it goes. So I'm at the barbershop, and one of the brothers, seasoned brother, must have been married. He said, well, first of all, he said, get you a dog. I said, why I need a dog? He said, because you're going to need somebody to talk to. And then he said that when you get in that heated discussion, get in your car and take a ride. And what he's saying is, because, you know, some of us, we just ain't punks. Some of us, you know, you don't disrespect me. Yeah, you know, I love to hear women say I ain't a punk. I love to hear that. But, you know, ain't nobody backing down. And then when we don't back down, right, the other person ain't backing down now. Now we going to have to handle this. And then we had the disastrous consequences of how we handled it. So all I'm saying to people is, and that gets us back to this whole idea of being woke. There's a reason why you have this anti-woke movement. We were talking about it off the air. Because if you're woke, if you're aware, you see the things that are going on, and it might precipitate a response to what you see going on. That becomes important. So even though my emotions, they're a big part of me, man, there's nobody that's more emotional than me. But I know that sometimes my emotions have gotten me into some situations where I'm going like, uh-oh, Houston, there is a problem.
So let me ask you a question. When you said about that guy at a job that someone talked about, started off with saying about his mama.
No, what I'm saying is they say something very emotional to get you upset. I'd use your
Okay,
mom as
so
an
I'm
example.
gonna ask you a question.
Okay,
So
Angela, I'm fine.
I had a situation where an old gentleman that I dated years ago, my mother's deceased, and he called her the B word, and I really, man, did I ever want to put hands on dude, but I didn't, because I knew if I had her, he wouldn't be walking today. He'd be 6 feet under and under and under. So
and we be
I
putting
feel
money
like
on your books.
you be more than putting money on my books. You be more than putting money on my books. But that's beside the point. That's beside the point because I feel like I handled it right. Now this is what I said to him. I will never forget, but I'll never forgive him either. Because that was someone that was real and dear to me. His mother's dead, but I never even said anything bad about his mother when he said that about mine. I could have retaliated and said something about his mother, but I never knew the lady. He knew my mother, but I never knew his mother. I will never go there with anyone. I don't care how angry you make me. I'm not going to talk about your deceased mother, or even if she's alive, I'm not going to talk about your mother because I'm a better person than that. And I know God forgave us, but that's one thing I got to work on about forgiving him because right now I haven't. Okay. And it's in the forefront of my mind every day that I think about him, about what he said about my mother.
And Angela, how many years has it been for you, dear?
For what?
Since he said something about
that
you.
was this year.
Oh, okay.
It was just recent.
Okay, all right.
This month. Last month.
Last month, and your mother's
last
deceased.
month. My mother been dead for 3 years.
And he said something about your mother this month.
Yeah.
Why?
You want to know why?
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you, because I wouldn't give him none of this good monkey I got.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
You're listening to I was trying to catch you, Devo, but no, you got to go there. All right, Angela, appreciate you there. I'm on the break. You listen to
Community. Say bye. Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back.
with your host, Keith Parris.
All right, African people and others. So let's just so we can kind of get to how we got to this point. Started off talking about the Antichrist. Some words that we used today. Hopefully, it'll be a test on it on Friday. Eschatology, end time. But I was just wondering, because I hear this from time to time when we see a lot of evil in the world, that then people begin to talk about the Antichrist. And so, we move from point A to point B, and I don't know how we got, but that's my fault. I need to, no, it isn't, because that's by design. Part of it is that we have these conversations, just have the conversations, man. All right, so let me get ready for my next conversation. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Keith. This is
John.
Dunny.
What up, John?
Nothing. I love you. Oh, sorry. No, this is really, really nice, interesting. And your take, I really love your take. This was really excellent. The way you said he never said he's God. You're absolutely right. At that end, remember that part where I think it's the high priest and then the Roman curator, whatever he was, asked him, "Are you
Let me
the
ask you
king
this
of
question,
Jews?"
John. Just kind of getting off.
Sure.
Do you believe that there's evil?
I think so. Yes, I think
Okay.
so.
And then do
Yeah,
you
I
think
think so.
that people can be evildoers? Not talking about our leaders, but just rank and file around the way,
I
folks.
think so.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah. I'm not an expert in this stuff, but I'm trying to be honest with myself and say, do I know something by myself? Because otherwise the word wouldn't exist. It's in everybody's language, because if like you said earlier, you hit it on the head when you said the first commandment and the second. So there's very similar things in that 7 commandments with Noah. Yeah. And I think in common sense, the golden rule, I think is the law of the human race. Would you agree? Does that make sense?
I mean, because we talk about the golden rule, but then we also understand that societies come up with laws. Obviously, we have laws to prevent chaos, right? Because we have laws. People could do whatever they wanted to do.
Right.
We'd have total chaos and anarchy. So I think the laws are there for a reason. But then there's all these little gray areas and these little pockets that people can fall into.
For.
Right.
That's what you need your judges for. Yeah. And it's required you set up a system of justice. That's in Noah's 7 laws, that you have to set up a system of justice to do just like what you just did, what you just said.
Well, and I think and that's the piece that what does justice look like?
Yeah, that's the hard part.
I mean, really, that's the hard part. You're right. A simple definition of justice is due, D-U-E. That people get their fair due.
They're building a. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, people get their fair due. So if I go to court in our criminal justice system or our civil justice system, I want to have my day in court as part of my due, D-U-E.
Yes.
And then hopefully the rightness of my position, then justice will rule in my favor.
Correct.
I mean, that's ideally, but then I know how justice then, is, we have that picture of justice where she has a blindfold on. And it's interesting, y'all, that justice is a sheep, but she has a blindfold on.
Yes.
And supposedly the justice is just what it is. But we just cannot have so-called pure justice. Justice has to be mitigated by things like mercy, like things like what's the word I'm trying to think of right now when they go in? There's some extenuating circumstances. It's like if I get in a car accident, I'm sorry, I'm gonna kill you again, Jermaine, and I killed Jermaine, it's considered a homicide, right? Why is it considered a homicide? Because it was a human being that caused the death of another human being.
Correct.
So now if we sit up and say, like, that's what it say, thou shalt not kill, when we take that out, well, it doesn't mean, because then you have to then account for war. And, people have gone in and we have what Augustine came up with just war, right? Or accidents where it wasn't your intent to kill the other person. So now we find out that kill has to be more, it has to be expanded to say thou should not commit murder.
Yes, because
right?
yes, and this is where you pay the debt to the person who you hurt. You pay the debt through finance, and you do service. That's how you have bonded servants in so many justifiable bonded servants. Is you owe the person something.
Right.
Am I making sense?
Yeah, I mean, because that's what a lien is. A lien is an attachment
yeah.
of an
Yeah.
asset because
Correct,
of a debt that you may occur or that you have occurred. And because I basically own that debt, I can use whatever means within the justice system then to collect on that debt. Part of that might be garnishing a check. It could be seizing an asset only because of that. But I'm just saying in terms of justice, and that's what is so troubling about what's happening at the Department of Justice right now. And look, they've always had where they've had prosecution where they've gone after people, for their political views. I think was it Eugene Debs back who was a socialist back in the early 1900s, where people questioned whether or not that was a righteous pursuit of justice. There's the Rosenbergs, where people believe that, and thank you, Roy Cohn, who later became Donald Trump's lawyer, and whether or not that was a righteous prosecution, and there's some other things going on. So in some ways, it's not new. Nixon had an enemies list where, he had used the IRS to go after his enemies. Obviously, for protesters of the war, the Justice Department was weaponized to go after them. The Justice Department was weaponized to go after Black liberation groups, civil rights groups, so it never has it been, though, where the person
started the war on drugs.
Huh?
He started the war on drugs, Nixon.
Right.
He took was just a simple FDA regulation from the old-fashioned FDA, and he changed it into a war. And I just read on Cato Institute while you guys were talking, we've spent $1 trillion. And I remember you and I were talking about fentanyl and oxycodone, and sure enough, as soon as they started lowering the boom on oxycodone and hydrocodone, fentanyl went up.
Yeah,
now,
and then here's the other thing.
That's logical.
Why are we getting at other countries? Really, the issue is the demand.
Yeah.
There's a demand for the drugs. I mean, if people weren't using the drugs, then they wouldn't be bringing in the drugs because there's no money. Nobody's buying it, but there's a demand. So America has this insatiable appetite for certain types of inebriants. And so now alcohol is legal.
Yes.
Fentanyl isn't.
Dangerous, really dangerous.
Well,
alcohol
it's probably the most abused
body.
drug that we have out here is alcohol.
And actually, opiates are clean. If they're clean, and then what it does is it puts you to sleep. My dad was a doctor. He said what morphine does, it simply puts you to sleep. It's not hurting your body. It's not poison. It actually, but you can take too much. That's
it doesn't hurt the body if you're doing it for medicinal purposes because you have somebody who knows exactly what they're doing.
Exactly.
But look, human beings have been trying to alter consciousness since there's been human beings. We gonna get high.
Your body.
Right?
Yes.
We gonna get high. And so that is not new, whatever your high is, because people have different things. We always look at high and we attach it to drugs and alcohol, but there's other things that people get a high and get a rush from.
Yeah.
Gambling is one of those things where people get a high, they get a rush. I mean, so human beings have always looked for something to either alter consciousness. The whole thing about LSD was that LSD is going to expand your consciousness. Yeah, it did, but then it took you to spots in your brain or in your subconscious that you had buried for a reason.
And somebody were not ready for it.
Right.
And that now they use it for therapy. Finally, after all those years, they cure heroin addiction. They're finding you can cure alcohol addiction with it because you look and with discipline, you can look inside
I
the
think
brain.
that is always the positive use, again, the medicinal use. And then there's also the illicit use.
Call it?
Once people figure out, like,
did you say enlisted?
Illicit.
Illicit. Oh, illicit. Okay.
And then you had some like mushrooms, right? Well, hell, we eat mushrooms. But there's certain mushrooms that are hallucinogenic.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, correct.
And so, you had, what is it? What is the peyote? Now, for indigenous people, peyote has religious.
They knew what to do. And the same with coca leaves.
Yeah.
They chew them. It's like if you chew tobacco, you're not going to overdose. We had a caffeine overdose. Remember this? I don't know if it was a couple of decades ago. That's because if it's pure enough, it stops your heart or whatever.
Right.
And like speed. Caffeine is like speed.
And right when they would use the cocoa leaf, they would chew on those people at high
slowly.
altitudes, right?
And it's
So
slow,
I mean,
and
it
nice
always
slow.
starts off where some, but trust me, man. Somebody now, John, I don't know if you old enough to remember how many people where you couldn't necessarily put together models. Remember we used to put together those plastic models, and that airplane grew.
Yeah,
and you put the airplane glue. Can't even say it. Airplane glue in the bag, and it held it.
Yeah, and that's poison. That's a solvent. That's a poison.
Yeah, well, I'm just telling you, people got high.
Yeah.
Robitussin. What is in Robitussin? Codeine.
Oh yeah, and that's just alcohol. I'm sorry. That's just narcotic, and that's not
codeine.
Poison, but
we had a physician at the Mount, Dr. Morningstar. Whenever you said you had a cold, he gave you. I don't know why he gave you tetracycline for a cold. Didn't do anything for a cold, and then he gave you codeine. So what do people do? They go in there saying they have a cold, stockpile of codeine, and then party time.
Yep. Right.
All right, John. Let me get this last caller, man. I'm up on it.
Are you going to be open in the next show when you're doing the other fellow's job? The other fellow's show?
Yeah.
Next hour?
Take calls, but yeah, okay. We'll see.
All right. Oh, I'd be love to talk to you in a minute. Okay, talk to you. If I can't do it today, I'll try to get you tomorrow.
All right. You good? When Michelle told him to call back, I guess he didn't know he'd call back. Caller, welcome to the program.
Hello, Keith. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Okay. Devo still there?
Who?
Devo.
Yup.
My office hours are from 9:20
Get him out the high
until 2.
Oh, I hear.
Did you hear me?
What's the other young man name?
Jermaine.
Jermaine. Hello to everybody.
Well, hello there.
Hey, Dorothy. Hey, Dorothy.
I ain't calling or what.
Hey, Miss Dorothy. How you doing?
Hey, Dorothy. What's up?
She can't hear us.
What did you say?
Can you hear us?
Dorothy, how you doing?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Hey, Dorothy.
What's on your mind, dear?
I can hear you.
All right, what's on your mind?
Turn the radio off.
Oh, I just called to say hi because I haven't talked to you guys in a minute.
Oh, hello. Hello.
I heard you, Mark and Keon.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, I know you miss your boy.
I know.
I know you miss your boy. Man, it's kind of hard to believe that, Keon ain't here, man.
Yeah, that he's gone.
That's I still ain't got over that one.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, then I call back another time.
All
we
right.
Got much time, but I want to say something about
Debo, just so people don't know, what's your hours again?
Miss Dorothy?
Huh?
You been to church?
Who said that?
Debo.
I know. I know that was Debo.
That mean you ain't been. That's what that means.
I know he's going to get me. I'm going to try to slide in and slide off.
Well, I went to church this past Sunday. I done got in there before you did.
Oh, really?
Yes, Lord.
I'm glad he was able to walk in and we didn't have to roll him, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
but look.
Always good to talk with you.
Keith said that do people believe in evil? Okay, I got people in my family that some of them are evil. They look like they hate you. They get up this morning just mad at the world.
Just mad at the world.
Yeah, they get up, they can't smile, they can't do nothing.
Well, that ain't necessarily evil. That's
just not getting enough sleep at night.
Yeah, that's just not speaking to people.
That's waking up on the wrong side of the bed.
Evil would be putting a brick through your window.
Oh, okay. But I know I tell people, why don't you smile sometimes? My God.
Yeah.
There's a young lady. She really is a beautiful young lady. But I can't get, teenagers have figured it out now. We don't smile. Yeah. Right? Teenagers kill me with that not smiling.
Well,
like, hey, how you doing today? And they just gritting on you like, what you gritting on me for? I just want to know how you doing.
Well, I mean, because you don't know what they've been through at home nowadays,
well, man. Please.
13 sucks.
No, I'm just saying.
Nowadays, no light bill, no gas.
I get
it. But nowadays,
no water bill, no taxes.
I get it, but nowadays it's just different at home.
They wearing designer clothes because you breaking yourself for them. What is in the world do they have not to smile about?
Well, maybe they're not happy with their situation.
Yeah,
maybe
I mean, it's tough being a teenager.
Yeah,
man.
They taking Keith back to
Okay.
13.
You know what I do?
What?
I get up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't feel good right now, I got a muscle pulled in my back. I got to go to the MRI because it really hurts me to walk. But anyway, I get up and smile at everybody. I can be having a bad day, but when I meet a person and speak to them, smile, they don't know what the problem is. I'm not gonna lay it on them. I just don't feel good. I don't feel
but
good right now.
there's some days I ain't smiling.
Yeah.
Most days.
Well, I don't feel like smiling because my back is hurting.
Oh, you're not smiling because your back is hurting. Okay.
I got to go to an MRI. MRI, what's the thing?
MRI?
Got to go up in that thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I got to go Saturday because when I sit up in the chair and get up, it hurts.
Mother,
get sciatica.
Listen, you know what? Matter of fact, you can send for Keith. Keith will come and bring his blessed oil and pray for that muscle, and that muscle, hallelujah, would go back
You'll
to
never walk again. Never walk again. You'll be wheelchair bound for the rest of your life. Coming up there with
my God! He's pad on my bed.
Let me tell you something, y'all. Let me do this public service announcement. Everybody can't pray for you. I'm just gonna put that out there. Everybody can't. So don't be. Hey Keith, what you doing?
Say nope.
Yeah, she was doing all right till he came in and prayed.
now she walking backwards.
She walk. Hey,
you know what? Tell Jermaine he didn't want to laugh. I got to hear him laugh.
All right. Love you, Dorothy.
Okay, love y'all too. Have a good day.
All right. You say you ain't praying for
man. I'm
just. She'll never walk alone. I mean, again.
Again. Father God, touch.
What happened to you? Keep praying for me.
Remind me not to ask him to pray for me.
Yes,
no, but if Reverend Parris lay hands on you,
oh my.
Man.
But don't let Keith pray for you.
Yeah, Reverend Parris.
You know what Reverend Parris gonna do? Reverend Parris gonna drive you to the MRI.
Get in.
Get in the car. Let the people know what they do and deal with you.
Wait.
And then if you have to come to me, okay.
It's too late by then.
But
no, it might not be.
So wait.
We started to show off on hope.
Yeah.
And we ended on what?
Hope.
Keep hope
We started on hope.
And
so
it changed what did it change to from keep hope alive?
Monkey.
What did Barack Obama switch to?
What was hope, right?
Fired up and ready to go.
Fired up, ready to go.
Fired up and let go of that keep hope alive.
Yeah, especially after Jesse lost twice.
But then I did a message called The Audacity to Hope, based on his book, The Audacity of Hope. And that and that whole myth around was it Pandora in the box, actually a jar, was that when all the evil got out, they closed the jar before hope could get out. And so
I like that.
sometimes all you have is hope.
Yeah.
And what was the scripture found, Pastor?
I did a Greek. It was like the Pandora's
box. Yeah.
No, I understand, but I'm sure there was some scripture.
No, it was just Pandora's box.
Oh boy.
I ain't gonna lie on the scripture.
Right. You ain't gonna get me in here.
We have a dude calling here regularly lying on scripture, so I ain't going. You going like that ain't
in the Bible.
That ain't in the Bible.
So that must be in the LeBron King James.
And I can't
version.
even comment.
Tell me something, Keith. Where did wifely duty come from?
Something that cats been saying for years.
Patriarchal. It's the patriarchal thing that women in a subservient position, and therefore her wifely doing that. And it was interesting because there was this whole, and I don't know if it ever came a court case, this idea, can a husband be charged with rape? And that's when he started talking about wifely duty. So if you rape your wife,
that's crazy.
Was that protected? And was in the past protected by law. So this idea that somehow women are subservient to men, that and we're still struggling with that now. What is the role of male? What is the role of female? What is the role of man? What is the role of woman? Certainly, in marriages. So I think that's what he was talking about. But that's always been controversial. Womanists are new feminists, will say to you that if your wife says no, no means no.
Yeah, no means yeah.
Regardless
Like, why would you even
to who it is?
Yeah, like, but I mean, as a husband, why would you want to take it from your wife anyway?
Well, there's a lot of things that go into that, and power and control.
Yeah.
All right. I like when you said get a dog. So, because you're gonna need somebody.
You need somebody to talk to.
Yeah, you need somebody to talk to.
That's what happened in the barbershop, Angela. And you know what? There's some pretty good advice.
Yeah.
Please don't bring Angela back up with her monkey.
All right. People, thank you. Jermaine, thank you. Clark Kent, I know you're in the building. There you go. There you go. Hey, the good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. I'm going to talk to you in about 5 minutes.
This is real goofy, man. Because you're about to do the next show. You sounded off like you're going to leave the building.
Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah,
I'll talk to you in 5 minutes. We'll be back and we'll be covering, help me pronounce Kwaku show.
Naumbu Upendo.
Naumbu Upendo.
Close.
I'll work on it during the break. I'll see you on the other side.